Choosing the right niche for your social media marketing agency is absolutely crucial. And in this video, I'm going to share with you what you need to know about staying away from the red ocean industries and then getting yourself into a blue ocean industry so that you can dominate your particular niche. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? In this video, we are going to be covering the best social media marketing niches of 2022. And I'm going to share with you what you need to know about making an educated decision on getting in the right niche so that by the time you're done with this video, you'll know what niche to go into. And then more importantly, I'll give you my top 5 social media marketing niches to go into in 2022 if you stick until the very end. So without further ado, let's jump into it and first discuss why in the world would you want to niche down in the first place? It's true, guys. The riches are in the niches. When you niche down, you become an expert in your industry, which makes you more focused and builds that more trust and credibility when you're speaking with potential prospects. And I want you to think about it like this. Let's say, for example, your business was selling apples. Not oranges, not grapes, not strawberries, apples. And you had somebody that came to you and said, hey, we work with people that are selling apples, grapes, oranges, strawberries, bananas, peppers, everything you can think about. And they pitched you a price for, let's say, $2 to get 10 more apples. And let's say you told this person, you're like, all right, it sounds good. I got to think about it. And then let's say a day later, somebody comes to you and says, hey, we've worked with 10 people that sell apples and we've been able to help them scale to selling 10 more apples a day. And we only work with people in the apple industry, which makes us experts because we know everything about an apple. We know when it gets rotten. We know when the worms get in there. We know when to throw it away. We know everything about this apple. Who would you rather work with? First one or the second one? Now, myself as a business owner, it's a no-brainer for me to say, well, the person that knows everything about my particular business, when things are going to go right, when things are going to go wrong, I would go with them. And that's the mentality that you need to think about with this is when you become an expert in one industry, you build that credibility and you continue to grow your expertise in that industry. Whereas if you're doing, let's go back to the social media marketing, if you're doing dentists, real estate, chiros, weight loss, real estate, I said real estate twice. If you're doing everything under the sun, yeah, you'll be okay. You'll always be like average. But when you get to the point where you specialize in one thing, you know key terms. Like, for example, if you're going after chiropractors, you know one of their key terms is patients rather than clients. And those are the small things that make a big difference in this space that make you stand out and make more clients are drawn to you. So I would highly suggest as you do this, if you want to get really good at running a social media marketing agency, niche down, learn everything you can about that industry and grow it. Because when you niche down, it is the easiest way to scale. So now that you know the importance of niching down, let's talk about a blue ocean versus a red ocean. And more importantly, which type of ocean should you get into? Is a red ocean better for you or is a blue ocean? And it really depends on where you're at and your expertise in this market space. For example, if you're somebody that's been doing marketing for a very long time, it might make sense to be able to go in a more competitive industry. Whereas if you're a complete beginner, you're going to want to focus and find something where you have a much bigger room to grow. All right. So basically a red ocean industry is something that's already competitive. It's an industry where there's already a lot of other people in there competing. There's already an existing market space. Whereas a blue ocean industry is more of a new opportunity, if you will. It's basically, if you look at think of an ocean that's red and there's just a bunch of fish swimming around and they're running into each other because it's so competitive. Whereas a blue ocean, it's blue, it's open. You can see that beautiful blue water in the future. And there's this opportunity for you to grow with your business. Now, a red ocean industry it's very competitive. When you go into this type of market, you have to beat your competition. Whereas the blue ocean industry, it makes the competition irrelevant because if there is any competition at all, there's enough room for you all to grow because it's very blue. You can see the distance. And going back to the red ocean industry, since it's so competitive, the demand is already there, meaning that you are going to have to compete and be really good at what you do. Whereas with the blue ocean industry, you can do the basic stuff and get even better results. And I'll give you some examples of this in a second, but just know when you're going into an industry, you want to think about it as what is the least competitive and what is the one where it has the most upside. Chances are, if you're going into a red ocean and you can't see anything other than the red and all the fish swimming around, example, real estate, we'll cover that in a second, but it's going to be something that's going to be a lot harder to scale and, more importantly, a lot harder to get results. And again, this really just depends on your expertise level. I would recommend that if you have less than a year of experience in the digital marketing space, that you 100% go into the blue ocean, because that is going to be the best way for you to scale and, more importantly, see quick results. So you get those quick wins and then you jump all in on this. So here's a picture of the blue ocean versus red ocean. If you want to take a screenshot, pause this, go ahead and do it. This was just, to be honest with you, a screenshot I took from online. So it's not 100% with social media marketing, but it is the same concept in play. Is like, if you really want to grow and build this business the right way, you'll go into the blue ocean industry so you have the most competitive advantage. Now, let's first talk about the typical beginner compared to somebody that's a little bit more experienced. The typical beginner in a social media marketing space, they just jump right into it and they don't spend any time researching. Now, since you're here watching this right now, you are not the typical beginner. So give yourself a little bit of a pat on the back right now and give yourself maybe some candy or whatever it is that you got to treat yourself with for taking the time to research and do this the proper way. The typical beginner goes into a red ocean industry because the quote unquote gurus go out there and tell them to, because it's a lot easier. And if you're listening to somebody that tells you to go into chiropractic, dentist, gym, real estate, those are all examples of a red ocean industry. Be aware of them because they don't know what they're doing. Anyone that tells you first to go into those spaces does not have the experience in helping people start agencies like they claim to do, because I've been doing this for over 5 years now. And most of the issues that we have with clients that first get started with us is they are twiddling their thumbs doing what everybody else does. Because let's just think about this. If you are going after real estate, gyms, dentists, or chiros, I put chirps on here. I guess there's a little bit of a typo, but we're going to keep running with this. It's a very competitive industry, because when social media marketing first became a thing, those were what the big name people, big gurus, I guess you could call them, told everybody to go after. And it worked really well until every single person and their mom started going after those industries. And I can speak on experience because I went after chiros, dentists, and real estate and gyms. Like, that's what I did as well. And like, I never really hit the gas pedal and scaled it consistently until we niche down or sub niche down, which I'll explain here in a second. But just know everything I'm telling you here is from experience on myself, and then also experience on helping hundreds of other students like yourself go out there and build your agencies the right way. So if you're somebody that is thinking about real estate, gyms, dentists, chiros, take a second thought and do some research, which I'll show you here in a second. And then also, another thing I hear, a common misconception, is go after something you're passionate about. And most people go into real estate because they want to get into real estate. That's the dumbest thing you can do. Just being totally real with you guys is, if you are passionate about real estate, use social media marketing as a way to make a lot of money so you can invest into real estate. Don't go into real estate in the marketing here because you're passionate about it. Trust me, you're going to get really unpassionate about it very quickly, as you see a lot of other people doing the same exact thing that you're doing and then not get results fast. Because ultimately, what my goal is to help you guys get the fastest results possible with the least amount of time spent and doing it the right way. So be smart about what you get into and do your research the right way. Now, the experienced marketer, they are someone that spends time researching and finds a less competitive industry, kind of like what we're talking about on this call, as they go into a blue ocean industry, and then they come up with a unique offer that separates them from the competition. So here's a very basic offer. I help chiropractors get 20 leads per month. Basic. If you were going to go into there and you wanted to get a little bit more specific, I help weight loss clinics get 20 people interested in losing weight every single month, or else we give you a full refund and write you a check for $1,000 just for wasting your time. Now, that is an irresistible offer. I have some notes and some things planned on an irresistible offer. So if you'd like to see more of that in a video, just let me know down in the comments and we can jump into that. And going back into like less competitive industries, an example for you right here would be like laser hair removal, something unique and different than everything else compared to something like real estate. Now, you might be asking yourself, Justin, how do I go out there and find the right industry? Well, the easy thing you can do is go on sites like Groupon, Yelp, and do some due diligence to find offers that are unique and different that are selling. And I'll give you an example as we are in Groupon right here. As you can see, we are in Miami. You can do research wherever you want on here. And all you have to do is just come up here to the categories section and then look at all these different options right here. So you can find out different categories and then figure out like where you want to go from there. So let's just go into something. Let's just see what comes up with medical. So you can see right here, we have cryotherapy, which is a very interesting industry, chiropractic, imaging center. This is a very unique type of thing that, like ultrasounds. I personally don't know anyone in the market doing this, but I do know if you could somehow figure out how to make this work, you would be in a very good opportunity because these are pretty pricey. The upsells at least are, but you want to look for something that is in a low package range and something that has a infinite amount of upside. So if you ever look at something called like the value ladder, and Russell Brunson talks about this a lot, this is the type of structure that you want to have in play with your clients. Is something where you bring them in something like bait, something $47. I usually look for something less than $50, and then you bring them up. So for example, let's just say you were to do like chiropractic, $29 new patient special, and their highest ticket package was a full nutrition plan with cracking the backs each week and everything like that. It was a $5,000 program, right? You get them in there and they upsell them on the ascension ladder. That's the type of model that you want to look at with this. Now let's just go back to here. You got chiropractic again. Now here's one that I think is a very interesting industry as well, is your energy IV drops. Definitely a good industry to go after. Chiropractic, body composition, very unique as well. And you can spend some time going on here. I'm just going to kind of go through and give you some recommendations as I go through here myself. So the next thing I want to go into is, again, I'm just kind of messing around, going through here and doing research. And the real things I'm looking at is right here, the star reviews. How many people have bought this? So look at this, 460 people. So this looks like it's some sort of like facial cleaning service. There you go, facial massage. That is interesting. And guess what? It's only $35 and 420 people have bought this. And then on the upsells, you have people buying this as well. So this is something that you want to look at. This would be an example of a really good industry to go after because the market is telling you right here that people are buying it. So as you go through here, you can come back and do some more research on your own. Again, I literally spent 5 minutes doing this and we just found a really good industry. Now, the thing I have to be careful and tell you guys about is just because I put this on here doesn't mean you should go after it. Chances are other people are thinking the same thing you're thinking right now. Is like, oh, Justin just told me this is a good industry. I'm going to go after it. Good luck if you are. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of more people doing it, but like if you're one of the first people watching this videos, I think this could be a great industry to go after. So that was the first option I wanted to share with you, is just go to sites like that, do some research and find interesting industries that are already getting sales. The next one, if you want to save some time, is just comment down below and then use the link I have in the description to get the 100+ SMA niches to get into. We actually have a full list of good industries and unique industries that you can do some research on. So if you want that, just comment down below and then use the link in the description. I think it'll help you guys out a lot. Now, going into my personal top 5 SMA niches of 2022, and I kind of put these on here as ones that if I were to start over, these are the industries that I would first entertain. And by no means are these in any specific order. These are just, top 5, and then I threw in a bonus. So number 1 is laser hair removal. The reason I like this is because it's one of those things where you can get, once you get somebody in, you make your client a lot of money. It has an infinite upside. Now, downfall of this is it might be a little bit harder to advertise, just because you've got to find the right type of people. It's not going to be something where you're going to be getting like $5 leads on for the most part. You're probably going to be paying higher leads, but one of these things where if they close one person, it probably pays for the entire marketing. Next one is cryotherapy. I always thought this was a very interesting industry. I've known some people that have done really well with it, but it was never something that I've personally seen get really saturated in the space. I see some people dabble around here and there, but I think it's a good industry because there's a lot of upside as well. You can make a lot of money on the back end for your client. Next is window tinting. This is a very unique industry that I personally don't know anybody doing. I've recommended it to a couple people, but no one's ever actually went in and tried it themselves. And the reason I like window tinting so much is I was actually getting my car window tinted, and they don't make a lot of money on the car window tints, whereas most people would think. Window tinting companies, if you find the right ones, the ones that do commercial space make a ridiculous amount of money. So with window tinting, imagine if you look at this picture of here in Miami, one of these buildings getting all of these windows tinted. That is, I don't even know the exact amount on that, but that is a lot of money. So that could be a deal where you get them one, they'll hire you for the rest of the year. Coming in number 4, vets. Vets with 2 S's. That's actually just a typo, but vets. And this is what I actually recommended when I made a video back in 2019 on the top niches to get in, was vets as well. Because think about it, guys. If you are a dog or a cat owner, then you know exactly what I'm talking about right here. You put the priorities of your babies first. And those are the type of things where it's like, oh, well, something's wrong with my dog. I got to go take him to the vet. And you're willing to pay anything it costs to get those pets fixed because you care about them like babies. And it's something that's just kind of like the doctor and the healthcare industry, but it's for animals, which people are so passionate about animals. There's no price you could put on for someone's love with a brand new puppy. So that's why I think vets is a really good industry to get into, because it just has a ridiculous amount of upside and there's a lot of money involved with vets as well. Now, number 5 is interior design. I think this is a very good industry. And I'll be honest with you, I've had a client that I actually helped out with. He first came to us when he was doing $3,000 a month in the interior design industry, kind of balancing around, doing a couple other things. And after working with us, we took him from $3K to $250,000 a month working in interior design. So this is a very good industry that you guys can get in as well and dominate. I will be honest with you, it's a little bit harder to get results, but if you can crush interior design or something along the space of that, you'll do really well for yourself. And you guys, as I'm going through these top 5, I want you to think about ways of branching off these as well, because again, people are going to watch this video. People are going to go after these. I put these on here for a reason. I think they're all good and you guys could all go after them. But if you really want to get good, use kind of like what we talked about in the framework of this video to go out there and do some better research to figure out what you can do in these industries or these sub industries that will get you the best results. Now, the last one, and of course, you guys, I got to give you a bonus, is pest control. And the reason I put it as a bonus is because it really depends. Pest control, for the most part, is very seasonal. And that's something you want to stay away from when you're in this space, is seasonal opportunities. You might be like, Justin, well, you're in solar. That's super seasonal. You're right. But here's the thing about solar is if you do your due diligence and your research, solar is in all of the sunny states. So like, for example, Florida, you're always constantly selling solar. California, Arizona, places like that. So do your due diligence when you're doing this the right way and understand seasonal isn't always the best, especially when bugs are only a certain time of the year. And the reason I'm saying this, I have some clients that work in the pest control and we help them grow very quickly, but then they have like a very slow month where they have to jump into different things. So those are the top 5 SMMA niches that I have for you guys. And I want to present an opportunity for you because I appreciate you. I'm going to pick 3 winners. I have one golden niche that I did not suggest that you guys get into on this call. It's one that if I were to completely start from scratch and build a new agency, which I might do here soon and build a case study out of, I would go in this industry hands down. And I'm going to share it with three people, just three, because I don't want to oversaturate it. So what I'll do is, if you want an opportunity for me to share this with you and help you build this offer in play as well, literally give you the exact offer I would use too, comment golden niche down below and I will pick one winner or three winners to share this with. So it's my gift for you guys going into 2022, making sure that you guys build your social media marketing agency the right way. So if you're interested in the golden niche, comment golden niche down below. And with that being said, I appreciate you being on this channel. If this is your first time, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below, hit that like button, and I will see you on the next one.